Alright, so here we have our 3D printed N95 mask setup prep layout. Basically, in addition to the 3D printer, what you need are a pair of scissors, Tyvek coveralls like this, which you can cut strips of material out of it, kind of like this. This one is just some scrap material I have, that's why it's not incredibly even. And then weather stripping. This is what you'd find at this local hardware store, or one of the big box stores such as Home Depot or Lowe's, Ace Hardware, kind of that kind of deal. Now what I've been doing is, and I'll put a link to this in the description, the original makers of these files print a mask, comes out, and at 100% size ends up being this size. I will show this on my these kind of arranging of sizes on my own face. I kind of tend to have a fairly large face. My wife has a smaller one, and this large, and then this one is at 85%. This is at 100. This is 115. This one fits me the most comfortably. This one fits me pretty well too. I think the large is actually a really well-rounded fit for pretty much everybody. And then this one here is a little bit, it's kind of on the smaller size. My wife, with her smaller face, she said that her nose kind of hits the bridge here. So what I think this would be maybe good for children. And then this one here was the first one I printed. This is a 78.66% size. This is really pretty small. It'd be like a small child, or okay, just a small child would fit in that. Now what you do is you want to cut this out to just be a little bit smaller, so you're not just wasting a bunch of material. This piece here is a second piece you 3D print out. If you're scaling it to make different sizes, you also want to scale this too. So this one's at 100% mask, 100% insert piece to hold the filter. This one here, it's 115%. I haven't printed out this piece yet, but this one will be 115% to fit in here. 85% for the mask, 85% for this filter piece, and so on. So, moving back to this, so you want to cut this piece, and then, so it's a little square that's roughly larger than the opening, and then this kind of just inserts in there like this. Those little bulbs create friction on the outside of the mask with the outer portion of the square, along with the filter section too. Hold it in place nicely. As you can see, I'm tapping on this pretty hard. It's not moving. It's a nice barrier. There are also holes in the side of this here that you can string elastic through to basically support it on your face. This Tyvek material is nice. It's approved for lead and asbestos abatement, mold removal. They all have very small particle sizes, and I believe this filters out something like 99.97%. The DuPont manufacturer would be able to actually let us know about that specifically. The other material I was thinking about that would work relatively well is a HEPA air filter type material that you can purchase at your local home improvement stores as well, and then that could just be flattened out, and you could cut these squares out of that as well. This here seems to be a pretty nice material. In my next video I'll show, or the next part of this video I'll show these on my own face, and then give some instruction. Basically, what you want to do for this, to get this gasket material on, is go ahead and just do this one for demonstration purposes. So we'll start up in this corner here, and then just slowly work it along the edge. Now the lighting could be better in here, but we're in central New York, and in some of the lake effect cloud bands, so we get a lot of overcast skies, and I'm not getting a lot of help from the external light of the sun. Then you just take this last piece here, just tucking it in here. Actually, I had to cut this down a little teeny bit more. So yeah, as you can see, you just go around, firm this up, and that's that. What you can do with this material too, you can go around the edge afterwards. Trim it off this way. And yeah, there you go. Nice 3D printed N95 mask. Hopefully this works out for you guys. I know it's not perfect. It'd be nice to have actually latex masks or silicone ones that are nice and soft. But this is a nice soft material here. This weather stripping, and the plastic. It's pretty nice too. It's very durable. It's the plastic material used in this mask is called PLA. What I've asked, I purchased a lot of my material from a supplier called Micro Center. They have in-person shops all over the United States, but I've asked them to see if they could donate some new PLA material to me along with a order that I placed. They're also adding Peregrina Solutions LLC to their list of companies that can be donated to as long as this goes through with the hospitals and they think that they can use it. I'm going to go ahead and start printing these out and supplying them to our local hospitals. Anyone that wants to do this with the 3D printer can do the same thing. I will provide some updates after I hear back from some of our hospital supply chain administrators locally, and I will update you on as of whether they want that, whether they can find this type of thing useful, and kind of that'll provide some guidance as to how to continue from here for myself, Peregrina Solutions, and along with anyone who's watching this and wants to help contribute to these efforts. We don't have elastic supplies to make the bands. I'm going to look into manufacturers of that type of material, but if anyone knows of a source of elastic bands that wants to donate to this effort, whether it's through helping out the hospitals in the central New York region or the hospitals local to where you are, sure everyone in the healthcare field would really appreciate it. Our nurses and doctors and healthcare workers are really the unsung heroes in this time, and it's really up to all of us to try to help them out the best we can, and help out our neighbors as well by social distancing, washing our hands frequently, and just so yeah, here's the mask, and then these are the insert components. Just kind of goes through like this, and then it just, yeah, you can pop it through if you want to, and then the filter material holds it in place, or helps hold it in place. So we'll try that one more time. Just demonstrate it. You can kind of feel it snap into place. And there we go. Then you can just go around and trim up any excess here. So this would be like a child's mask. It's pretty small. And then this large is seems pretty well suited for pretty much everyone. And this one at 85% is pretty good for people with smaller faces, large children, teenagers maybe. And then this extra large, the 115%, is for, like I said, people with extra large faces or larger noses. I kind of find this more comfortable on the bridge of my nose. And if I was a healthcare worker, I think this is the one I would go with.